Hey, I'm back, and if you've seen the previous post, I will be reviewing all of Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, and Fantastic Four. So, without further ado, let's get it cracking. So, if we go to, I'll start off with Rebirth, which is the one I know most, the universe I know most about. Uh, well, let's just go on Rotten Tomatoes, right? Let's go on Rotten Tomatoes. Just here. Yep. Okay, so Rebirth is very. A lot of people. I want to say that a majority of people like the movie. However, the critics don't like it. The only reason why I think they don't like it is solely because of the ending, which, if you haven't seen it by now, it come time of recording is August 4th, 2025, 9:49 p.m. I don't think it has come out yet, so I'm just gonna, you know, try not to spoil anything. But the ending definitely gets people mixed. I've seen on TikTok, people have been saying it's the worst movie of the whole franchise, which is just rage bait. It's rage bait because if it was truly that bad, it's worse than Dominion. It's worse than Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion was a bad movie. I didn't like it. I can see why people liked it. I didn't like it a lot because they brought back this all the cast just for it to just be about bugs. Um, but that was the main thing for Dominion. Now Rebirth, I liked it. It was a back to basics movie meant to reimburse, like, bring, not fully bring it back, but bring back that feeling of a Jurassic Park movie. And I think that is what people thought it was going to be, this groundbreaking movie. I think the expectations for it were set so high that when I saw it, I was like, it's all right, which I'm fine with. But the people that I'm skeptical of are the people that are saying it's the worst, which is just not true. There was multiple scenes, like, as you can see here, the raft scene. It's very good. It's a very good scene. Very well. It's very well done. And the budget for this movie wasn't as high compared to the others. And with what they had, 180 million, it's not the worst movie in the world. It's really not the worst movie in the world. It's actually quite good for that budget. I really like the detail they went for. There's not a lot of story and not a lot of lore going on, which I think people also want. But I think in terms of dinosaurs and action, you get all of that. There is not a scene where, there's only like one or two scenes where you're just sat there and there's a conversation going on. They're always running, which I like. You get that Jurassic Park vibe. I think those were the pros. There was a lot of action, a lot of dinosaurs. The dinosaurs acted like animals, not like monsters, which I really did like. let's move to the cons. The cons of the movie were that the ending. Spoiler alert: the D-Rex. It's not about the D-Rex. It's about Duncan. I think he's one of the best characters, but he was made out to die, and he just didn't. He came back from the dead. The only explanation I can give is that he threw the flare in the mouth. I'm taking this from Swerve. He also said probably throwing the flare in the mouth. It was in his throat. I was like, ah, right. Didn't like it. It went away, and Duncan survives. But I feel like if they killed him off, it would have been a good sacrifice. It'd be like, because they talk about, not talk about, but it's implied that his son, like, he got divorced. I'm not very sure of that information, but I think it's something like that, something to do with family, and he would have redeemed himself if he had sacrificed himself, which he would have been good. Now the people that are also then there's also the Spino Glazers, the JP3 Spino Glazers in particular. I mean, the movie JP3 wasn't inherently bad. The story was just they're going on an island. Spino, big bad boy. That's about it. It's a rescue mission. It's all that is. That is what made JP3 one of the, I think, one of the worser films. Not the worst, the worser. Because my ranking so far, it's been what? A month? It's been like about a month since I watched Rebirth. Twice. Superman I watched 4 times. I know. But we'll get on to Superman. Jurassic World Rebirth, I only watched twice. It's about to hit digital. So I might watch it again just to get a taste of it. I might change it throughout the year. But I on Letterboxd, I gave it a 4 out of 5. A 3.5, a 3.7, like around that, like 3.5 slash 4 stars out of 5. Just because the ending didn't really suit what I wanted. Not because of the DRX not finding anything, but because of Duncan. And, on TikTok I've been seeing all these guys saying there should have been a big dino fight. JP3 Spino comes back. I've got one thing to say to those people. It's that the JP3 Spino is dead. It's dead. It's well dead. Because, okay, let's do the maths. It's 2001, right? JP3 Spino, boom. It takes a while for it to get to Jurassic World, but around 2010, 9 years, around that 2010 is when the Spino gets seen by, Masrani, all those people. The Spino was in a prior facility in Isla Sorna, and it was just handled badly. It got treated badly, hence why it's a villainous thing. But you gotta realize, age-wise, it's probably dead. I say that because it was treated poorly. And supposedly, all the dinosaurs that are left are either on the mainland or on Isla St. Hubert. Nublar, Sorna, Monteros, Pena, Sacano, no dinosaurs there. That could change, but I think, as of now, that's what it is. Spino is dead. Last time we saw was in Camp Cretaceous, season 5, I think. One of the worst seasons, but point being, it was on Manticorp Island. It's probably not canon, if I'm being honest. So let's just pretend it was on Isla Sorna the whole time, and now it's dead. It's gonna die, one, because of age, two, because of it. Well, it was handled bad poorly, so it probably didn't have much nutrition, and let's be honest, it wasn't in the movie, and they said all dinosaurs are basically near the equator, and yeah, this is the only island that really has them. In the beginning of the movie, you have the patasaur, but it's an apatosaur, not a fucking spino. A spino wouldn't be living like that. So that's that. Spino's dead. Spino Glazers can, stop trying to say, oh, it was a bad movie because there's no Spinosaurus. There was Spinosaurus, just not the one you wanted. But overall, a good movie. It's, I would even dare to say it's the third or fourth best in the franchise. It's definitely better than Fallen Kingdom and Dominion and JP3. It's tied with Jurassic World because I don't know, because it's two different stories. But I would, if the ending was slightly better. Duncan did die, and there were. I don't really care for a fight. Don't really care, but if there was, it would have been cool to see a fight. But I'm not mad at it. If there was a fight, it would have definitely gone into third place. So my ranking would be Jurassic Park: The Lost World. I'll get a lot of hate for it, but it is what it is. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, or Rebirth. Fourth, Jurassic World or Rebirth. I'll watch on digital, then I'll really say it. But I think I'll put Jurassic World third just because of the nostalgia, because you came back to it after, 12 years. Then you had actually after 40. So Lost World, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Rebirth, JP3, X, JP3, Fallen Kingdom, Dominion. Okay. That's my rating for Jurassic World Rebirth. And the cast was amazing. I like how they did something different in this movie. The D-Rex, well, it's the D-Rex, the Mutodons, or I think one of my favorite parts. My favorite part was definitely the Quetzalcoatl scene, or just the whole Mosasaur Spinosaur scene. Even the scene doesn't even end because then the Spinosaur goes around. He's sleeping, wakes up, goes around, kills Nina, which is I think a very cool scene. And Leclerc gets killed by Quetzalcoatl, and it's still alive. He's still alive while he's getting, eaten alive. Yeah. So I think it's a very good movie, and not very. It's a decent movie, not the best, but definitely not the worst. It's it's in that third, fourth place out of 7 movies, and that's what I think of it. However, it's not the movie of the year. I'd say it's third or fourth for movie of the year. Third or fourth for movie of the year. Because there is one movie that hasn't got off of my mind. And that is Superman. Okay, so let's go and check out Superman 2025. So, Superman. I'm gonna be honest. I watched this movie more than I would have liked to have because I watched it 4 times, which means also. However, Jurassic, no, not Jurassic, Fantastic Four, I've only watched once. just because I don't want to waste more money on watching another Marvel movie. So, but besides that, F4 was a good movie too. But we're talking about Superman. Okay, I don't. I'm not a critic for you know DC movies or just superhero movies in general. I'm just saying of what I liked of the movie, what I think could have been improved. But with Superman, I feel like it was perfect. I feel that because I can't judge a movie if I've never really dived in to said universe. However, prior to this, I watched Peacemaker season 1, season 2 coming out this month, and I really liked Peacemaker. James Gunn knows what he's doing with this DC universe. He really does. And Peacemaker was fun. It made me laugh so much. I really enjoyed it. And he Peacemaker is in Superman. Not a lot, only like a few, not even a minute, like a few seconds. But he is funny. Now let's move on to the Superman. Right? It was an amazing movie. I cried a few times. I even cried in multiple times of viewing the movie. Um, so let's talk about the intro first of all. Superman, the way they introduced him, I liked it. We already know he's an alien. We already know he's like not allergic, but kryptonite can kill him. We already know he's dating Lois Lane. I mean, not everyone, but the general people. If you know about Superman, then you know about his life. We already know he's Clark Kent, right? I mean, you saw as to introduce the character, but you don't have to do a whole origin story, which I liked about it. The part where he falls into the snow. Before that, it says 3 decades ago, Superman landed as a baby on Earth when his planet Krypton exploded. Okay, that in the music too, it was captive. It was really good. And then it just keeps going with the three, right? It says 3 years ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 hours ago, 3 minutes ago. And now as you go on, it keeps getting more chilly, and it's like the last one is 3 minutes ago. Superman just lost his battle for the first time. That is, it gives you chills. I really enjoyed it. And then right as that happens, it's boom, lands into the snow, and then Crypto takes him to the Fortress of Solitude, and then the movie kicks up from there. I have a lot of favorite scenes. I'm just gonna scroll through it because I think it's those movies where I don't want to ruin it for anyone. It's that good. Favorite scenes, I think. Okay, I'm gonna say the Hammer of Baravia. That scene, the way he just, the accent as well. It's it's like Superman. I am from the state of Baravia. I really liked it. I really did. And then you get to see Ultraman, who's just Hammer Baravia, who's just he's a fake person. Then that's when you get introduced to Lex Luthor. Oh, and also the intro where he gets healed up by the robots and all that. He flies in, then the music of Superman, and then the logo. Amazing. And I love Crypto a lot too. This movie is serious, but it's funny at the same time as well. Another favorite scene, I think, after the Hammer Baravia. Let's see. I gotta really think about this one because I tend to forget these type of things. Hammer Baravia. Ah, here we go. Then after that, you go to Lex Luthor's thing, how he just hates Superman with this envy. When you watch this movie, you hate Lex Luthor. It's like you want Superman to win, but he just keeps on winning. Lex Luthor keeps on winning, and it's what we need. We need an actor that can act as a villain and just make you hate them so much. And then we get into, after all that, we get introduced to the Daily Planet. The introduction, dun 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 dun. I love that too. Lois Lane and that whole crew at the Daily Planet. So now we're introducing the characters. We're Superman, Lex Luthor, Ultraman, the Engineer, which is I think another. The actor is. She's a beautiful actress. I really do love her. But yeah. Uh, Also, it's quite cool the way they shot this movie. I really did like it. I watched it in Dolby Cinema. But I watched it with a friend. He also really liked the movie. And then we start to go, and all right. And then you have Luthor Corp, all that stuff. And then let me think here for a second. Um, uh, duh, 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 duh. I'm trying to think, cause there's a lot of my favorite scenes. It's Lois Lane, and then mm, like they talk about how the Hammer Bravia beat Superman's ass, and then it basically cuts. I don't know. Oh, here it is. Ah, it basically goes to Lois Lane going to her house, and then we find out that Superman is Clark Kent. Well, not find out, but we already know. Um, and then we have this whole thing where they kiss, and then they have this whole interview. Then he gets mad, talking about super shit, hashtag super shit, super shit. That part was quite funny. But then he talks about his planet, more about where he's from. And then from there, because then it starts turning night ish. Some little releases big bad monster. Um, which is set as a distraction, so then Lex Luthor can go in to the Fortress of Solitude, because in the beginning, the Engineer goes there and they find out he has a home in the Antarctic and believes it's illegal, which I mean it is, but yeah, and basically this big monster. We have this whole scene where Superman, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, perfect asshole, I love it. You have Hawk Girl, which is her scream is deafening. Then you have Mr. Terrific, who is one of the best actors on this, the best characters. He just portrays Mr. Terrific well, and I love that. I want to see more of that character. He was very funny too. Peak character. And as that's going on, we cut to Lex Luthor going to the Fortress of Solitude, and people are wondering, oh, how is he going to get in? That's where Ultraman comes in. At first, we watch it's like you're confused, but later on, as I keep on talking here, it, we'll see why. Then they go into Fortress of Solitude. They get a message, like his message about Clark's message about doing he hears about with his parents, which was damaged in transit to Earth from Krypton. his parents wanted him to take over Earth. They didn't want him to be Superman. And he thought they meant to be the hope of Earth and be Superman. But because it was the second half, it was the evilish part, which Lex Luthor tries to manipulate people of. And this is where we cut back to the fighting scene after they beat that big fiery guy. There's like the part where it's like, hey, eyes up here, and then it goes up, and then the music rolls, and oh my god, it was so good. They beat it with the help of Guy Gardner. It's so terrific. They explode. Mr. Terrific uses T-spheres to explode the monster. Guts, intestines, and then it dies off. And Superman saves a squirrel. I mean, come on. He saves a squirrel, which shows who Superman is. And then we go, after they beat him, it is reported that Superman is here to take over Earth, which is Lex Luthor putting that message out. And then, oh, and also they took Krypto. Bye. And then as we go on, he's like, "What the hell? What the hell? That's not true." He doesn't believe it because he's never heard the second half of the message. So then he goes inside this building. And then Guy Gardner and Hog go out there to ask him. He's like, Superman, you're the type of guys that we are meant to destroy. It's like, it's not like that. And then Hoggo's like, well, how did they find out this about his message? Then he realizes the Fortress of Solitude. This is where the trouble starts kicking in. He goes to his Fortress of Solitude, and he goes and he realizes all his helper robots are being destroyed, and Krypto is gone. Which means he knows someone is in danger. He knows something bad is going to go off. He knows it's Lex Luthor. He even cries about his robot being injured, which just shows Superman's empathy. And then we go to... He smashes into the Luthor Corps building and asks where the dog is. Lex Luthor rage baits him, say, "Where's the ugly dog in the cape?" And, people go crazy about it. He goes back home. To Lois Lane, and she still loves Superman, and then they hug out. They don't kiss, but yeah, and some funny parts. Oh, you have a dog. It's like, then that's where Peacemaker actually shows up in the TV thing. So yeah, I'm ripped. These guys don't know shit, right? So there's that. And then it really kicks off from there. It's like, oh, I'm going to turn myself in so I could probably get Krypto back. And then he turns himself in. And by himself. Like, he doesn't try and do anything stupid. But they take him by force. Ultraman takes him by force. And he's under Planet Watch, which is Lex Luthor's thing. And then he goes to Lex Luthor's thing. Lex Luthor's created a pocket universe. I don't know. I'm trying not to go into too much detail, but he basically has all these monkeys spreading hate. Krypto chasing flying squirrels. Basically, after they tested on him, they're gonna kill him off. And then Superman is basically in this pocket universe where it's basically essentially a black hole. Can't get out of it. But he uses Metamorpho, who can turn anything from his hands into a crystal or substance. Kryptonite. Hence, why Superman, the trailer looks all beaten up. Like, ugh, looks gross looking. And then we skip forward to Lois Lane wanting help from Mr. Terrific, finding out where Clark Kent is. And Mr. Terrific, she goes to the Hall of Justice, and then Mr. Terrific's like, I don't know. And then he said, check where he is. And he took him to the Pocket Universe. And they go to his flying saucer. Some funny bits there. They check. Then there's that whole 5 years time song playing while Mr. Terrific's kicking ass while Lois Lane's just in that thing. Like that big force field. And they keep going. They find out it's a pocket universe. We're already like halfway into the movie basically, and basically they check. Superman breaks out because Wonder Woman makes his son to save his son. Basically, he'll save his son if he lets him get out. That type of deal. He saves him. Then they try to escape, and then the Raptors or his like basically security guards they try and take him down. Then the part where Superman blows while saving everyone like that, truly peak cinema. With the music of Superman, it really did really well nice. Sorry. Then we go on. He has kryptonite poisoning. They escape kryptonite poisoning. They go to Clark Kent's family, and then they talk about how much of a wuss he is. Like he's very soft, very kind. Lois Lane appreciates that, and she realizes that she does love him. And then on the other side, and I didn't talk about this, Jimmy Olsen. He's like the hot guy. He gets all the chicks. He has a hot ex girlfriend. Basically, she's Lex Luthor's boyfriend, and she talks about his secrets about the pocket universe where Superman's being held, and the crypto as well. They meet somewhere, some dark alleyway or whatever, and they exchange information. Then he tells Lois, and then Lois finds out the pictures that she sent were selfies, and in the background it's Lex Luthor wanting Baravia, because currently there's a war between Baravia and Yarhimpur, which in the beginning Superman actually prevents from being invaded by Baravia, which causes an interview she did with Lois Lane as well. I'm going back and forth here, but I'm just trying to link it all in. And then we have after all of that, Clark Kent wakes up with Crypto, right? And basically, they want his help. While Baravia is invading Yarhimpur, because Superman's not there. There's these kids that lift up a flag of Superman. That part made me cry so much. It truly, but at the same time, because Superman escaped, Lex Luthor is mad. He's very mad. Breaks up with his girlfriend because she told him secrets, and basically now he puts her in the pocket universe, and he wants to stop him at all costs. So he creates a rift, which means it splits Metropolis apart, and they need to save Metropolis. And I don't know why they made it like that, but I guess he has to make tough decisions. Guy Gardner and his crew, they go in and save Yarhimpur from Baravia. Hawk Girl goes and kills the president of Baravia. Metamorpho also helps out too. Well, then that whole thing of Superman is terrific. They go on trying to fix the rift, and then they find out. Then Lex Luthor sends Engineer and Ultraman to try and kill him. And then there's a scene where he lifts up a building from a car, gets out of the smoke, and it's that very Superman music, and that also made me cry. Then we find out, plot twist, Ultraman is basically Superman's clone, but better, but stupider. And then this whole Lex Luthor saying, mind beats brawn, that type of stuff. And then Superman calls Crypto. Basically, his camera's seeing Ultraman, then he beats Ultraman, basically. Then the Raptors come in, he uses laser vision to kill them off, and then he goes in to confront Lex Luthor, and then he gives this big speech about how he's an alien, but he's as human as everyone else. Um, but really a good, speech. Terrific goes and fixes the rift, and then really, they, then it's the end. Crypto rips, looks at the shreds. He goes to prison, and then they post a news story about Lex Luthor, in his evil plans. Then Superman's a good guy again, and then him and Lois Lane kiss. Yada yada yada. Everyone's saved. And then that's really it. And I think for me, it was a 4.5 out of 5. Or 9.5 out of 10. It was a really amazing movie. It made me cry a lot of times. And, yep, that's for Superman. Sorry. Superman was so good, I rewatched it 4 times. So, it's definitely worth a rewatch. So now, let me get to Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, I wasn't really expecting much, but I was excited to watch it. How to catch up with MCU timelines, all that. So, Fantastic Four, it's like a standalone movie. It has stuff to do with the MCU timeline, but it's not like you don't need to. Basically, in Fantastic Four, you basically just go. It's just you have the whole family: Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, and it's like Superman. There's no origins. I mean, there is an origin story, but it's not as crazy. And basically, the Fantastic Four and Reed Richards and Sue Storm are gonna have a baby. And it's like a very retro, futuristic thing. It's like stuck in the 60s, but it's still futuristic. And I think Fantastic Four, there's not really much to spoil about, because it's just Fantastic Four. It's just the story of Fantastic Four and the family. Basically, Sue Storm and Reed Richards are going to have a baby, because they're married, and, they've been trying for a baby, and Franklin Richards is the result, and he's a very powerful god. And basically, Galactus at the same time orders Silver Surfer to come down and command Earth for destruction. And Galactus says, actually, you know what? Never mind. I want Franklin Richards, because he is the heir to my throne, and I want to rest. Which I think was, good plot. Then the movie continues, and then they visit Galactus, say, I want the baby. And Silver Surfer actually tries to get the baby, but they put her into a black hole or whatever. And then, I don't want to spoil it too much. Superman, I kind of spoiled a lot, but at the same time, there's a lot of good scenes. But I really did like it. Then they have this big last battle as well. Really liked it too. People are actually hate the fact that Sue Storm doesn't give her baby to Galactus to save Earth. Right? And so that they'll fight them together. They basically beat him. Reed Richards gets stretched. They try to keep attacking, but then Sue Storm finally manages to stop him, throw him into a black hole. Silver Surfer actually, or whatever her name is, goes in, puts Galactus in, and then that's that. Happy ending. Then the post credits, Doctor Doom, and that's really about it. That's really what most of the plot is about. The in-betweens are kind of just like, not filler, but like, you don't really need to know about it. I think it was a really great movie. I think all 3 were great movies. I think it's Superman, F4, Rebirth. Yeah, I think that's the ratings, and yeah, I liked all of them. Superman was, as you can tell by my description, Superman was by far my favorite. But yeah, I will post more videos. I'm gonna try and do Twitch streaming as well when I'm just relaxing, just playing games while not filming these in-depth videos. But I'll try and post some, dinosaur game videos if my computer can handle it. But besides that, I'll see all yous. pupils, whatever you want to call yourselves later. And yeah, bye. Oh wait, actually no, not bye, because I still have to search up Fantastic Four on Rotten Tomatoes, because I don't think it had the best. Oh, it actually did. So people really liked it. 87% around. That's pretty good. And 90% I think it's really good. Um, as you can see, Fantastic Four takes the world by storm. But at some point it gets dark too. But besides that, great movie too. So I think I'd say Superman F4 Rebirth. That's about it. So bye.